Ranking the best defensive abilities in Madden 25. And boys, we are back here with another tier list update. Today, we're going to be taking a look at defensive abilities. Before we get into today's video, I do want to talk about our sponsor real quick, MMOEXP.com. If you guys want an alternative to buying packs, consider buying coins at MMOEXP and make sure to use code DILL at checkout for 5% off your order. I do want to say as well, we do have the X factors as well because starting to get a ton of them in the Madden Ultimate Team settings. So we're going to talk about those. And today, we're going to switch up the tiers, of course. In this top tier right here, we're going to have the best. In this A tier, we're going to have great. In B, we're going to have mid. And in C, we're going to have trash. And we're going to get rid of D and F. So yeah, let's get started right here with film study. And film study, I don't think it should be in the game. Being able to see repeated play calls. And I know some people are like, yeah, well, the defense would catch on to certain play calls. But a lot of times people base out of the same play, but call like a bunch of different setups. And a lot of times with offense as well right now, play action blocking is so important. It's like, it's kind of tough not to run the same PA play when you're playing like the loop or someone like that, right? So film study is definitely one of the best, a little bit cheesy of course, but one of the best abilities you can run. After that, we get on the ball right here, and I think this is a trash tier ability. I don't really think it does much. It's like the counter for run off elite, which not a lot of people run. We get inside shade, outside shade, and we can also talk about one step ahead as well. Inside shade, outside shade is like, you know, like broken up for one step ahead, and I think inside shade is better. One step ahead I think is great. I think man coverage as a whole right here, there's one thing that makes man coverage like the best, and we'll talk about it. This is one of the best combo abilities you could get with man. I'm gonna place these two in the mid tier. Now after that, we get lurk artist, which I feel like we gotta talk about lurk artist, pick artist, and of course lurker all by each other because they're kind of like, I don't want to say the same ability, but you know, it's like all comboed into one. So lurk artist and pick artist, two of the best abilities you could get, just catching your interceptions, right? These two things should be ran at this point, especially in the ultimate team setting. You have the AP for it. Go ahead and run it. Now, lurker right here, I don't really think it does anything this year. Like when I look at linebackers with lurk artists, I don't notice them jumping any higher with lurker. And like maybe I can put it in the mid tier because objectively it may do a little bit, but I just think this is one of the most unnoticeable abilities by itself. After that, we get acrobat, and I think acrobat's kind of mid. Like I think it's been mid for some years though. It's like ever since Madden 22, after that, I feel like acrobat misses more than it hits. And after that, we get bench press right here and chuck out. Chuck out I think is trash. It's like zone chucks a lot of times, like your curl flats and cover 3 will zone chuck, but hard to get that consistent. Bench press is good. It's like another thing that's like mid, and it's kind of by like these abilities right here. It's only good. And you know what, let's just talk about man coverage right here. Bottleneck is the number one thing that makes man coverage like kind of overpowered. Dominantly winning the press attempts, kind of crazy. Sacking like bottleneck one step ahead bench press, if you have the AP for it, that's pretty nasty. But that's the only time I think bench press is good, is if you have bottleneck, if you have one step ahead already. Now we get the zone KOs right here, which we can talk about all of them right by each other, and let's talk about it. So first up right here, deep end zone KO. I think it's pretty mid. I don't think it is like crazy by any means. I think deep out is a little bit better in this great tier. I think flat zone is also in this great tier as well. Number one ability I think on defense is mid zone knockout. It's been like some years now, and I still get comments sometimes about like, oh, why do you like mid zone on safeties? Why do you like mid zones on outside corners? Well, stop thinking of mid zone as like, oh, it activates in a mid read, a vert hook, so on like that. It's not a thing where it's like, oh, it only activates in those particular zones. No, it activates everywhere on the field. Within the numbers, it activates 0 to 20 yards, right? Like think about how much like space that is, whether it's safeties, whether it's outside corners, whether it's linebackers as well. And then on the outside of the numbers, it's 10 to 20 yards for like your outside corners and certain corner routes. If you think about the majority of routes, right? Like what's the number one like route you would probably want to defend on the sideline? To me, it's a speed out, right? Speed out, really, really good mid zone. Depending how far they send it up, but most speed outs, it's mid zone. A lot of like the drags, a lot of the seam streaks, a lot of this stuff is all just played by mid zone. That's why I think it is so good. Now, a new ability, zone knockout, that is joining the S tier is going to be deep zone knockout, because I think the combo of deep out and deep in, like getting that on top safety, that's basically everything. Like deep zone, mid zone, I think is really all you need. So yeah, I like deep zone KO a lot. We get the man knockouts, where I kind of want to put them all like on this level right here. They're mid by themselves. So for me, for man coverage, right? Number one, if you want to run man, bottleneck. You need to win the press. Number two, you want one step ahead so route tech and short and elite doesn't fry you. Then on top of that, I think that's when the KOs come into play. So that's why they're in the mid tier for me, if that makes sense. After that, we get an outmatch right here. I think this is a pretty trash tier ability. Tip drill. I think tip drill serves no purpose when we have things like pick artists, you know? To me, it just doesn't serve any purpose. After that, we get adrenaline rush. I don't really think this is good because you have to actually get the sack. I don't like that. BOGO is something that I just don't really recommend running. Defensive rally is okay. I'm going to place this in the mid tier, getting pass rush points for a D-line. I like that. Now we get double or nothing, edge shred, and edge shred elite. Double or nothing, I think, is the best ability for the defensive line, just base. And I think edge shred and edge shred elite are great combo abilities with that. Like, what I mean by that is, like, double or nothing is the thing I would prioritize first, but getting Don and edge shred on like your defensive ends, if they don't have pass protectors or secure protectors, you will shed the piss out of them. So I do really like it. It's just like, for me, the double or nothing by itself is better than edge shred. So I hope that makes sense. After that, we get El Toro, and El Toro is actually kind of really good too. Like, double or nothing El Toro on the DT, double or nothing edge shred on your edge players. Like that quite a bit. Extra credit kind of by BOGO for me, instant rebate as well. It's just like things that I don't really think do a lot. It's like if they get it for 0 AP, whatever. Same thing with Mr. Big Stop, Ripper, Speedster, Spinner, Swim Club. Like, just don't really think they're that good this year. Unpredictable, I think, is mid. Like, it's okay. I would rather run these three right here and double or nothing, but not the worst ability in the world. Under pressure, I kind of think it's trash this year. Like, I don't really notice it at all. Like, I tried it on Looper, tried it on defensive linemen. Just don't really think it makes quarterbacks throw inaccurate. So for me, under pressure just really isn't good. That's why edge shred and edge shred elite are like right by each other for me. We also get demoralizer and crusher. I'm gonna go ahead and place them in the trash here. Don't really think they're good either. Goal line stuff, I'm gonna place trash just because of the fact that it's only like working the goal line, you know. Like, it's something like pretty much this tier, it's like 0 AP, run it, you know. So enforcer, like enforcer supreme, we should be getting those two. Lumberjack, deflator, secure tackler, stonewall, tackle supreme, and unfakeable. We can cover all these like tackling abilities right by each other. Since we're here too, avalanche. So number one out this group, I think, is avalanche, right? If you're talking about hit sticks, forcing hit stick fumbles, avalanche is great. Tank kind of counters it, but if they don't have tank, avalanche is going to do work for you. Then we have enforcer, enforcer supreme. These are specifically mid if you have avalanche, right? Like, that's when I think they're mid. And also, I have very similar thoughts to secure tackle and tackle supreme, and also stonewall. Like, they're not bad. They do a little bit. It's just, do I recommend running them? Only for like 0 AP, you know? Lumberjack, I don't think is great. I don't really cut stick a lot. If you are a cut stick expert, this may be higher for you. Deflator is kind of by like demoralizer and then for me, don't really like that. And unfakeable, I don't really think the spins and jukes are good this year. So for me, it's just something that would be in the trash tier, right? After that, now we get some run stopping abilities, inside stuff, no outsiders, and we talk about run stopper. So inside stuff, I think this is a great ability. I don't think it's like must run because the run game as a whole just really isn't good. And inside stuff does activate on the majority of runs. No outsiders for me is more like mid tier. I think inside stuff is better, of course. Now, run stopper is also going to be in the mid tier. Run stopper to me is more of a pass rush ability though. You use no shed points on run plays, so that just makes it to where you can use all your shed points for the pass play. So it should actually result in better pass rush for run stopper right there. Hopefully that makes sense. And out of my way, I don't really think it's good. Reach elite, don't think it's good. Trip specialist, also don't think it's good. Interior threat, it's like 1 AP. I really don't notice this a ton. I debated on this being in the trash tier as well, but I'm gonna slightly place it in the mid tier. I like that it's 1 AP. After that, we get into the X factors. We did cover avalanche already, of course. Let's go to the D lineman first, where we're going to have unstoppable force, fearmonger, run stopper, relentless, blitz, and I guess we can go selfless and momentum shift. For me, unstoppable force is the best one. Like, if they don't have like pass protectors or anything like that, this is just gonna absolutely ruin their day with the amount of people that get it started on too. Fearmonger for me is like by under pressure. I don't think it's good. I really don't. Maybe I'm sleeping. I just don't notice it a ton. Run stopper for me, it's like inside stuff on steroids. It's like inside stuff plus no outsiders, I should say. So for me, it's more along lines like a great tier X factor if you can fit that AP in. Relentless, I'm gonna place this in the mid tier. It helps with the pass rush points a ton. I don't mind it. Like, relentless plus double or nothing is actually a pretty good combo. After that, we go blitz, and blitz I actually think is great, potentially the best too. Wiping out blocker resistance is really, really important for pass rush, consistent pass rush, I might add too. So yeah, I like this blitz X factor a ton. And after that, we get momentum shift and selfless, and both of these are pretty great too. Like, one counters X factors, the other one can start on your own X factors, but kind of great if you can get these for start on. So yeah, they're both going to be in the best for me. After that, we get reinforcement, shutdown, zone hawk, and universal. Universal is the best because it's everything for coverage. Like, it's every zone knockout, it's every man knockout, it's reaction time for man and zone. It's like the one ability you really need for the secondary, right? That's why I think Super Bowl Deion Sanders is still so good. After that, we also get reinforcement. Now, reinforcement is every knockout but no reaction time. And it's also good for the Vanguard X Factor as well. I think this is like a great tier X Factor. I just think Universal is better, of course. After that, we get Shutdown and Zone Hawk. I don't really think these are good. For me, they're going to go ahead and be in the trash tier. I feel like they don't really do much, and everything they do, I'd rather have Universal or Reinforcement. So yeah, boys, this has been my updated thoughts on the defensive abilities in Madden 25 Ultimate Team. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with. What do you think should go up? What do you think should come down? Now, I hope you guys did enjoy the YouTube video today, though, man. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Madden 25 Ultimate Team content just like this. Now, if you guys do want to go see me use these abilities live, talk about these abilities live, have been streaming on both YouTube and Twitch to watch on the YouTube. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that noti bell as well. You'll be notified every time I upload or go live here. Or if you guys want to watch on the Twitch, check the links in the description, hit that Twitch with a follow. But if you guys do want another video to watch, check out this one right here.